What's up, everybody, and welcome back to part 7 of my Ken Kratz book review, The Case Against Stephen Avery and What Making a Murderer Gets Wrong, where I'm going over the things he talks about in the book and comparing them to things we've learned in the documentary and things that have come out since. Again, because I'm reviewing the book doesn't mean I believe things that he says in the book. I'm just going through it because it's interesting to compare the things he thinks and the things he states to the things that have come out since the book and things that we've learned in the documentary. This is part 7, which is chapter 7 of the book, called The Bones. He talks about how he got Dr. Leslie Eisenberg, how she was in charge of the bone evidence for the state. She was one of the best in the country. She worked on other high-profile cases such as the 9/11 tragedy and Hurricane Katrina, just to name a few. She testified that the bones recovered in this case were female, no older than 30 to 35 years of age. She stated the bones were cut and burned in an attempt to stop them from being identified. Somehow a femur bone that was examined still had muscle tissue attached to it, and it was concluded to belong to Teresa Halbach by DNA expert Sherry Coolhan. The same lady that somehow put her own DNA into one of the vials she was testing. Mistakes happen. Dr. Eisenberg also examined 2 skull fragments, which she said before they were burned showed that Teresa Halbach was shot in the head twice. Now, in season 2 of Making a Murderer, Kathleen Zellner states that it is unlikely that she was shot, that the cause of death was likely a hammer of some sort. Dr. Eisenberg states it was extremely unlikely that the primary burn pit, the primary burn site, was anywhere but the burn pit behind Stephen Avery's garage. She stated that she did not find enough bone fragments or dental structures in other burn sites, and that is why she stated the burn pit behind Stephen Avery's garage was the primary site. Ken Kratz states that no sinister team of law enforcement officials could have dumped bone fragments into the ashes of Stephen Avery's fire. Why not? Of course they could have. Why couldn't they have? You can plant anything you want when you're the only people on the lot searching. When you're the only people in the area searching, you could plant whatever you want. You could do whatever you want, allegedly. There's nothing stopping you from doing whatever you want with zero repercussion. It's a strange thing to state that it couldn't be done. Of course it could be done. You can do anything when you're the only people there. That's weird. Ken Kratz states the defense claims the bones were moved because most of them were found in Stephen Avery's burn pit behind his garage. The defense believes that there were 2 burn sites, and since in most cases the majority of bones would be found in the place they were moved to, not the place they were moved from, meaning that the bones would be more likely to be discovered in the place that they were found, not the place they were necessarily burned originally. I burned them here, I moved them here, meaning most of the bones would be found here and not here, because I'm going to try to collect as many of these bones as possible from this location and move them to this location. Ken Kratz states in this case, however, he states this isn't a case where bones were moved. He states this is a case where few bones were moved. Few bones. Not a lot of bones, just a couple. To maybe try and speed up the destruction process of the bones to stop them from being identified. Ken Kratz states that Making a Murderer didn't mention that Teresa's cell phone, camera, and PDA were found in Stephen's own burn barrel, so the fire was strong enough to burn flesh, to burn human remains, almost unrecognizable, but not strong enough to melt plastic, such as a cell phone, a camera, and a PDA. Not strong enough to completely destroy that, but strong enough to burn a human body. That's some next level strength plastic that these items were made out of. But of course, they could have easily been put there after, damaged some sort, I'm sure, but not completely destroyed. How do you have a fire that's that hot and that destructive that isn't going to burn or completely destroy a cell phone camera and PDA? They could have been put there afterwards, allegedly. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand his points that he's making to make this case seem stronger for him. I understand why he thinks it makes it stronger for him, but in reality, it's not. If he was stating things that were unequivocally, undeniably, you cannot argue against, sure, I would believe Ken Kratz 100%. But he's still stating things that can easily be argued and easily be explained in other ways. It's just, I don't get it. I don't know. Like I said before in other videos, maybe he's doing it on purpose. Like a haha, I got you. This is what actually happened. I don't know. It's very strange. Very strange. But that's the chapter on the bones. The next chapter, chapter 8, is entitled The Bullet. And I'm looking forward to checking that one out. But what do you think? What do you think of the bone situation in the Making a Murderer case? Let me know. Leave some comments below. I love reading them. I love hearing everybody's theory on each chapter as I go over it. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing, liking, sharing, all that stuff. Truly do appreciate it, and I will see all of you again soon.